Can you hear me now? How about that? All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. Let me repeat this then. So Sam was asking, how do I make sense of this sell-off? Well, this is the inventory. This is the cost basis before the move up to distribute, right? So there's some inventory here. This is the cheap inventory. This is the really cheap bargain basement. That's where most of it's priced. We sell it here, and we sell it up here overnight. Then what happens? We ran out of buyers, right? Right back to cost basis. See? If you look at the 1 minute chart, look, cost basis, 2 times discount, 4 times discount. Look below and fail of 33, all the way back up to 42. There's going to be some sellers here. There they are. See? Now do you understand, Spam? It's a market, right? In a market, you mark things up and then you mark them down. Right? So this was all a short squeeze, higher. Nobody's expecting it. And what's today? Today is Fed Day. So at 2 p.m., a little guy in glasses is going to come out and tell us about interest rates, and you don't want to be in a trade. Now, Spam, if you were long, say you were long 20,000 contracts 2 or 3 days ago, under 67.65. Say you were long 20,000 contracts here. Right? You still with me? Can you hear me? Let me know if there's a pulse. Otherwise, I'm talking to the void. Okay? So, say you're long 20,000 here. And the market goes up here. Right? You're going to be selling those contracts yesterday and in the overnight, aren't you? Right? By the time we get back down here, the goal is to have none. Because you got to take that and turn that into cash, don't you? And you want to do that before the Fed. Because what happens if the Fed comes out and says something snaky, wonky, and the market goes like this? And you're long 20K here, and you didn't sell here, and you didn't sell here. Now guess what? You got to pull your kids out of private school, and they're repossessing your Bentley. You get what I mean? Make sense? Hey, Sadiq, you're back. Good to see you. Very simple. Good stuff. Good stuff. Cool. Just keep it simple, my friend. Just keep it simple. That way, you know. Now, we were above yesterday's high. Now we're below yesterday's low. So we are going to open on a gap down. And there are going to be sellers at 67.65 because yesterday and all of tonight's inventory is above us. So when the market opens, we're looking for the bid. I'm watching 67.15 because that's the extreme of this cost basis here. Okay? Let's go take a look at the chart. There's that overnight low. Down here. previous day low was here, right? So we're going to open underneath these single prints, which means the short position is now filled. Very simple. Right? Everything we do, my friends, has to be simple. It has to be simple because when you're trading, if things are complicated, when things start to go wrong, you're going to freak out and totally lose control and not make good business decisions because you haven't trained yourself to make good business decisions. You haven't trained yourself how to react when things go wrong. So that is why it is imperative that you have a trade plan, and you have to have a simple trade plan, one that is not complicated. Because the more complicated your trade plan is, and the more things you're looking at, the less you are going to be able to concentrate, and the more money you are going to lose. Because everything sounds great, then you get punched in the face, and you start seeing Tweety birds, and then all of a sudden you can't trade your way out of a wet paper bag. Things start getting really bad really quick. And that's why people add to losers, right? Because they haven't been trained how to properly manage trades, right? So they add to losers, they average down when the markets are going down, they average up when the markets are going up, right? Into shorts, right? They revenge trade, all of those things. You're doing that because you haven't been trained any better. That is why retail traders don't make any money trading, because they haven't been trained how to make money. Pretty simple, huh? So we're going to open on a gap. We got a big chunk of supply above us, right? 67.43 up to 64 and a quarter. So as usual with any market, you'll notice we are in the cost basis before that move up, right? That's an overnight cost basis, but it's still a cost basis nonetheless, and it's still working like a charm. I usually take the overnight sessions off, but I just decided to leave this one on. Why? Why did I leave this one on? Because it's so obvious it slaps you in the face. You know what I mean? It is so obvious that you could see a cost basis from 67.15 up to around 67.50. And you notice where, position. And you notice where we came right to the position and stopped. Okay. So when the market opens, you can figure out what you're going to do, right? You're going to have a decent trade plan, right? You're not freaking out. You're not beeping and squawking going, oh my God, was there news? What did Trump say? What did this guy say? Who did what? Who's on first? Who's on second? Larry's on third. Mo and Curly are still like, who cares? Right? If you're doing your balance levels this morning, you can see that we got a cost basis going here, right, folks? Right? You can see that there's a cost basis here. Right? They step in and sell at 67.43. Heck, you could even move this up here if you want. You know, they're selling 67.44. They stop selling when we get down here to 36 and a quarter. So what's going on right now? If you're looking just at a chart, all of these people who are trapped in these areas, they're all liquidating. They don't all sell the same time. That's why we're going back and forth. So the size traders are just trading this level back and forth. They're buying under 40, they're selling over 40, and they're just waiting for all the liquidation to end, right? Underneath 36, the shorts come in and bid. Wholesale is now building a position on top of them, right? Then, when wholesale is done building that position, if the order flow, now order flow is just a fancy way of saying, if the customers come in, right, we're going to take this cheap crap and go sell it up here. And if things get really bad and we don't have any buyers, we might have to discount price a little further. And maybe we can, as they say in the UK, get the punters to come in at 20, 25. You guys feel me? You understand what I'm talking about? This stuff is not rocket science. The problem is, it's funny, I was talking to someone this morning, and they were watching the news, and they were getting all tilted. Yeah, but this guy's doing that, and this guy's... I'm like, who cares? Is it directly affecting your life and your trading? No. So who cares? Focus. Right? You should be focusing on this chart, and honestly, what should you be focusing on? Well, there's a seller right here. Right? You can see the sellers stepping in at the top of these candles. And where do they stop selling? They stop selling here. So the market's going back and forth here while it is waiting for... Now, a lot of traders will say while it's waiting for information. But let's take that one step further. Right? While it is waiting for customers. There you go. We don't know if it's going to be buyers or sellers. Right? We know someone's coming in. We're waiting for customers. Zaza. I like that name. It's a very mob name. Joey Zaza. Yeah, ad margins are still increased, but we have... you don't have to reset it. I did mine... I used yesterday's cost basis. You'll see they'll still work. Right? I just did it now to show you guys how to do it. Right? That's the only reason I'm doing it, because just to show you guys how it works. Right? So now we got a little bit more selling. We got to reduce the price. We got some more sellers. So this will help you manage your expectations, because you don't want to buy this market unless it does a look below and fail of 36 or a look below and fail of 20, because everything else is for the large traders to screw around with, right? You want to make sure that the sell orders under 36 are complete so you can buy 37, 38, and sell it up here in the 44s. So if you were going long right now, and I wanted to go long, like I'm putting in a bid right now at 67.38, and I put in a stop at 36 3/4, and I put in a sell order at 67.40, and I'm going to sell it at 39 3/4. So I just did that trade. I told you that that's what I was looking for. Then I told you I'm putting in a bid, I'm putting in my stop, and there's my sell order. And I did it as I was taking the trade. How does settlement holidays affect business decisions? People like to get work done before a holiday. So if there is a settlement holiday, there's no clearing on that day, so it'll happen the day before. But we don't have a settlement holiday for a while. But interesting question. So if Friday was a holiday, trades would settle on Thursday and then Monday, because there's no settlement on the holiday. So most traders like to get business done before. Make sense? right? So when I put in a trade, right, I'm going to tell you guys I'm putting in a bid. Here's where I'm putting my stop. And then here's where I'm putting my sell order. And you can see my sell order was high, so I moved it down to get out of the position. Okay. All right. Very simple. You could see, look at the cost basis here. That's that overnight cost basis from Sunday night. Look where we are. We're right there. So what do you want as a trader now? You want for inventory to get short. You want the overnight point of control, which is 2,627 contracts. You want that to come all the way down here, which it almost has. Then you will have absorbed the overhanging inventory, and then overnight inventory will be short. You guys get what I'm saying? So inventory long, inventory short. You could see, look, there's a seller at 42. There's single prints at 43. So the sellers are selling there because there is supply. So you would rather want to buy it at a discount instead of where the supply is being sold, right? Because if you buy it at 41, 42, what are the odds that it goes to 44? It might, but wouldn't you rather buy it at 37 and sell it at 40? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? If we run out of supply, we will get above 43 and we will go into this red box to get that supply. Right now we have supply at 43. I would like the point of control to move down, but we might not. That might not happen here. See how we're going up into that box? Running out of supply. As you run out of supply, we will go higher looking for that supply. Yeah, I don't know how Indian settlement works. Right? My specialty are US markets and Canadian markets and German. Right? So I don't know how Indian stocks, I don't know anything about how Indian stocks settle. I don't know if they even have a DTC or how they settle trades. I don't know any of that. But I do know that traders do like to have their positions done before a holiday, right? The more shorter time frame speculators like to get their business done and leave little risk on the table. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? Neela, are you still there? Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so if I'm short a lot of size, I want to reduce my size before the holiday. Because what happens if there's a 3 or 4 day holiday and some news comes out and I'm stuck in a position? See what I'm saying? Cool. See, professional traders worry about risk and exposure. Retail traders worry about profits. Yeah, see, I wanted to short that 43.44, but I didn't. Hmm. I have to work on my discipline. That is a discipline thing. I should have taken that trade. Hmm. Will I short again now? No. Let's see where we open. If we don't move the point of control lower before the open, it means we ran out of supply. Outside the textbook definitions, can you expand on what you were saying? Sure. Because nothing I say is textbook. So when I say pro traders worry about what am I risking to make this, right? And am I going to be in business 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Retail traders don't think about that. Retail traders are, oh crap, I need to pay the rent. I need to make money. Professional traders are like, where can I do good business? Does that make sense? I'm sure there was some news, George, that triggered the sell-off. But it's still inventory based. And there's always going to be news. Now, you can't trade news because you haven't spent $5 million on a quant and algos and infrastructure. So what you do is you build a little long position and you sell it into strength, right? We knew there were going to be sellers here. What a surprise. There's sellers up here just under 49. Shorts are not trapped. Shorts are not trapped. We're opening on a gap down, which means there's supply. So no, shorts are not trapped at all. Shorts are having a field day. Is PPI higher than expected? Okay. I know we had news, but I never look at the news. I don't care what it is. The chart will tell me what's going on. The chart was telling me that inventory is long and it corrected. Right? Can you extend singles automatically? No need to manually change the red box. You know, KK, I'm sure there's a way to doing it, but I'm an old guy. I I mean, really, how hard is it to do this? Oh my God, that's so much effort. Oh, I don't know. I'm just messing with you, right? But I mean, is it really that hard to do this? Oh my God, my fingers are so tired. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. I don't look at that stuff, George. I don't look at the 1 minute bar volume. It doesn't serve me, so I don't look at it. Like you've been with me now for a while, and if I don't talk about it on these streams, I'm not looking at it. Like I said, I'm not doubting that there was some news at all. Right? Not doubting at all that there's some news. That is an area of supply. They are single prints on the way down. I mean, you guys want to. You can look at volume, but you're not going to make any money doing it. Okay? I'm looking for bids at 42 and see if I can buy some at 42. If I can't, I might have to buy some at 46. Let's see what happens. Right? You can look at all those things, Cass, but I mean, is it really that difficult me asking you to look at a 1 minute chart? Because every time I tell people, all you got to do is look. Right? There's my 42 bid. Let's see if it's here. I'm going to buy some at 43 and a half, and I'm going to put my stop just under 42 at 41 and 3/4. I'm long 43.25 on 2. I'm out at 44 and a quarter. Is it really that difficult? What the hell are you doing looking at a spreadsheet when the market's open? Right? Look at the chart. What is my conviction? The offer moving higher. So what is my conviction for the market to start filling the singles and take a shot at that gap fill? If I see sellers raising price. Right? Folks, let me excuse my language. This shit ain't that difficult. Right? When they're raising price, they see buyers. When they're lowering price, the buyers are leaving the store and they got to put it on sale to get it out of the door. Do you guys understand that concept? So if you watch the offer, why would you be watching volume candles when you should be watching to see where the sellers are selling? What in God's name would make you look at volume candles? You're not going to figure shit out with that. Right? 42 was a good bid. I told you guys before 42. Right? I sold too quick because I was flapping my gums. Do you teach fair value gaps and liquidity sweeps? No, but I'll teach you how to make cotton candy. That's all bullshit, Little Echo. Just so you know. That's that cult guy. I don't teach any of that crap. I teach you how to make money in the business. Real simple. Right? So do you get that, Spam? What's the conviction for the market starting to fill those singles? You see how the market went over 52 and 3/4 and then came back down. Right? Keep it simple, folks, because the more stuff you look at when you're in a trade and you get punched in the face, you guys are going to start seeing Tweety birds freak the fuck out and lose all your money, which is what you've been doing all along. I'll teach you how to train yourself so you stop losing money and start making money. Really simple. Okay? You guys, unfortunately, you get sold all this stuff from all these charlatans and fucking scammers, right? And then you come in and I got to deprogram you. I don't mind doing that. But I've been making markets for 34 years. I've been doing this, right? And I've traded more order flow than everybody listening to me combined. So trust me when I tell you it's a simple business. And if you keep your execution simple, you are not going to freak the fuck out when things start going wrong. You're going to be trained on how to deal with it like a pilot is trained to deal with turbulence. If you were flying in a plane and your pilot said to you, "Hey folks, this is JJ. We're going to hit some turbulence. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go on Twitter. Hold on for your life." That really doesn't inspire confidence, does it? You have to train yourself. So if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. We have a 3-day free trial in our room. At 11 o'clock, I'm doing an execution class. Right? I'm supposed to be family friendly. But sometimes I just get, you'll excuse me if I lose my patience. Right? Don't fall for all this order flow, fair value gaps, Kentucky Fried gaps, Cool Ranch gaps, frickin' liquidity sweeps. What's a liquidity sweep? Is that a mop? Give me a frickin' break, right? Yeah, sometimes people need a come to Jesus meeting. A liquidity sweep is a mop. What are you, mopping the floor or are you trying to trade, right? Where's the seller? The seller is at 67.55. They've lowered their offer here at 67.53 3/4. Right? Don't fall for all the bullshit, folks. Right? All these other educators, if they can't dazzle you with their brilliance, they're going to baffle you with their bullshit. And it's showing in your trading account. Right? It's showing in your trading account. Because if that shit was working, you'd all be millionaires. So what does this mean? If you know where the sellers are and you're long here at 46 and you know they're going to sell into it at 52, 53, sell it. Don't sit there with your finger up your nose. Sell your contracts. Right? Get in, get out, get paid. Don't hang around. Right? Farting around thinking things are going to happen. When you get to 53, is that seller still there? If that seller is not there, they're going to lift the offer and print the 55s. Watch. There you go. Print the 55s. I told you right before that happened that it was going to happen because we finally got enough buyers coming in and they're believing the hype. Right? So we're filling those single prints. Spam. This is the conviction. Why? Because overnight inventory is more short than long now, starting to correct higher. The trade is long. You see the look below and fail of 33. You see the position being acquired, sold, sold. Target is 59.25. Next target is gap fill. Expect a seller at the gap fill. Yep, you're right, James. Trading is not easy. It's simple, but it sure as hell ain't easy. And you need to train yourself. And it's all the boring, crappy discipline, all the stuff that's boring that you have to force yourself to do. That's how you make money. Right? I had no discipline when I started retail trading. Let's see if we can clear out those 56s. and tiptoe our way into the 62s, or at least into the 59s, 58s, right? Uh, you know, and with our room, we only charge $19 a month, so we're not trying to get rich, right? We charge, and people are like, why don't you give it away for free? Because when you have a free room, you have every idiot and whack job and mentally unstable person come into the room and cause trouble. So we want to create an environment where people, if they can pay $19 a month, at least they can show that they have a little bit of responsibility, right? Because we want people who are there to help each other, that kind of thing, right? I don't think we can make it any cheaper. Free rooms are chaos. They're full. They are full with, like, there are some specimens in those free rooms. You know, it's like a cover charge at a nightclub, and so is YouTube. Right? We've been lucky, Moran. There's, every once in a while we get a snapper head, right? But generally we have a pretty decent YouTube audience, and I'm thankful for that. Right? It's not a. It could be worse. So we're creeping. Right? If you're long under 43, 44, I'd be selling them like I stole them. Let's see if we could fill that gap. Oh, Fed days are always interesting. What's the, like, I never ask, but I never actually look. Are they going to lower interest rates today, or is it just status quo? Just curious. Here we go. See, think of this red box as a supply room. And when you run out of supply, you go into where are the Kaiser rolls? Well, they're up here. Status quo till the war's over? Okay. I haven't kept up with that stuff at all. Oh. I'm really trying not to read the news. Right. Well, first of all you do, Cat Cafe, is just execute off the DOM. Don't stare at it too much. You'll go cross-eyed. Staring at the DOM is a waste of time. Learn where to put your orders, like learn where to put your buy and your stop. Learn how to execute using the DOM. But you look at the chart and execute off the DOM. Okay? You don't need to look at the DOM to execute. That's a fool's errand. Because the DOM is just expressions of interest. They're not actual transacted volume. The chart is showing you transactions. The chart will never lie to you. The DOM is supposed to lie to you. Because no trader, unless they're on a 4-day cocaine binge, is going to show you their intent on a DOM. Like if I had to buy 500 contracts or 5,000 contracts, I wouldn't go and put an order and show that I'm a buyer of 5,000 contracts. Because the market would run away from me. Does that make sense? So stop looking at the DOM, watch our streams, and watch the chart. That'd be like if you're a poker player, you want to show everybody your cards. You're not going to do that. So we ran out of buyers. Let's see if we stay under 54. Does the binge make you a better trader? No, generally in my experience, having bailed those people out of jail, happy go leverage, it doesn't make you a better trader. What it is, it's a pain in the ass for me because I got to get up at 3 in the morning and come bail you out and then take you to rehab, which is a pain in the ass. So if you're shorting, right, I wanted to short the 51s, but I missed it. So if you're shorting, go put some bids here in the 47s and cover. I should have taken that short. My discipline is horrible today. My discipline sucks. I should have been shorting 51 against the 52s, 53s. But I'm more interested in talking today than actual trading. Ah, what's this? Fed Watch tool. Oh, very cool. You guys have all the toys, don't you, Truth? All the toys. Resting orders? Well, I hope they gave them a nice comfy pillow. When I hear resting orders, I think of people sleeping on the trading floor. Right, now, do they have a Cool Ranch? Do they have a Cool Ranch gap? You know, and a Red Hot Spicy gap. Those are gaps I'd be interested in. Right? Yeah, I used to like those too until I saw a video of how they actually make Doritos, Jaden. And you're better off eating toxic waste. Great way to lose weight. Thanks, Leslie. How you doing? How are things in the great state of Colorado? I've seen your Dom AO. It looks like a crackhead and a meth addict had a baby. Remember you made me look at your YouTube channel? All right. Seller at 54. There it is. Pretty simple. We knew that there'd be a seller there, so when the market went from 49 to 54, boom, there's the seller. What a surprise. Now, why will they sell there again? Because they have size, right? Remember, AO, you made me watch your YouTube stream? Let's see if we could clean this up. Now, if we trapped enough shorts under 52, let's go tickle the 59s. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Right? And then I had to use the electroshock machine after I watched your YouTube videos. So, yeah, it's okay. Right? I'm a simple guy. Right? I don't think trading should be like sticking your tongue in a light socket. But that's just me. I'm getting old. Right? I don't think that trading should be like sticking your tongue in an electrical socket. But some people like it, so hey, who am I to judge? Right? I just want to make some money quietly and have no drama. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm getting old. Maybe when I was 25, I would have liked the torture. Right? I'm looking for a short at 64, Pollux. I'm looking to short the previous day low on a gap fill. You ain't living? I know. I think I did enough of that in my 20s. Meek. I think I did enough of that in my 20s. Right. I'm still lucky to be alive. If you're doing the look above and fail of 67.59, ah, crap. Right. I should have been selling the 58s. I'm short one at 56 and 3/4. And I'm covered it at 55 and a quarter. I completely screwed up that execution. Should have been short 58, 57. Yeah, on a couple of size contracts. That was a really nice look above and fail. Like I said, my discipline Excuse my language, is absolute shit today. Apologies for that. Isn't yesterday's low 67, 64, Pollux? Hey, guys in the room. Jam. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thanks, Ramon. Welcome to the room. Okay, Pollux, I think you're looking at another something. I don't know what you're looking at. Damn, could have done much better on that short. Okay, let's see if we can break 52s. I would assume that he's rolled it over by now. I haven't looked at the roll situation. So yeah, we're almost 4 times the volume of the old contract. Ah, that makes sense. Alrighty, what's next here? Under 52, I'd be looking for 48. So remember, 11 o'clock today in the trading syndicate room, we will have our execution class. Please bring your questions. I will not be reciting Shakespeare. So you guys have to talk. Okay? 11 o'clock. Bring your questions. There are no bad questions, especially when it comes to execution. Honestly, I'm looking at 44 now. If we take out the open, I'm looking at 44. We took this inventory. We sold it. Now we're putting it on sale, and we're going to try and find out where the buyers are. They going to step in above 44 or below? That's what I'm thinking now. And when they do step in, are they going to sell into it back again at 54? Are you in the room, Cass? I'm trying to teach people. I want them to ask questions. Because if they have an adaptation of or a completely different system that's not grounded in reality, wouldn't you rather know if your system's not grounded in reality and you're losing money? Would it be advantageous for you to ask a question, find out whatever you're doing is not working because it's not grounded in business reality, and then you can change and start making money? I don't know. I'm just asking, right? If I was doing something wrong and losing money all the time, if somebody who knew what they were doing talked to me and told me, hey, what you're doing is not working because of this, try this, I don't know. It's a different world now. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, what's the point? if you're afraid to ask a question. I'm not going to humiliate you. The only time I get weird on people is when they get snarky and say rude things on stream, right? But if you say I'm doing this, I'll go, oh, that's not going to work because of this and this. Try this, right? I don't know. Yeah, but are they making money? Are you profitable? So not everybody's drawing balance zones. Okay, great. You don't have to. But are you making money? If you're consistently making money, then you don't have to listen to what I'm saying or ask questions, right? But if you're not making any money, wouldn't you think that your system isn't working? I don't know. Am I taking crazy pills here? Hello? All right. What other setups do you want? Okay, you're starting to drive me nuts. Okay? Sorry, I got to focus. Right? You're off in the weeds, Imucas. Right? You're completely off in the weeds. Right? Simple. If you're making money, God bless. If you're not making money and you're trying to learn, just stop trying to argue with me and shut up and listen. I promise I will try and help you as best as I can, but I'm not going to argue with you if you can't frickin' listen. Okay? I know. I'm just gonna get rid of her or him or whoever. Right? I'm just gonna put you in timeout because you're being a pain in the ass and you're distracting from the people who are trying to learn. Right? I apologize, folks. I went down the rabbit hole with this person. Okay? We're still in distribution. We're still in distribution. Proving the point of a free chat. I know. I got to do it for marketing, Leslie. Right? I got to do it for marketing. We're trying to help some people. We're trying to get them to come into the room. Right? We want to grow our business. You got to put up with some knuckleheads. What are you going to do? Right? So we are in distribution over 46. Breaking 46 means we come into this cost basis at 39. If you have any marketing hints, let me know. Steve can use the help. That's okay, Nathan. You know, it's okay to make mistakes. Just be aware of the mistakes and work to try and make those, and fix them, right? We're going to make mistakes in trading. That's just the way it is. That's true. Yeah, maybe, Leslie. Maybe. Bids at 46, ladies and gentlemen. Bids at 46. There's going to be sellers in the 52s. If you are long, sell into the strength. Make sure you get paid. If we clear the 52s, they will be sellers again at 55. Nice trade, Nathan. Nice trade. My pleasure, Jess. Yeah, I'm looking for a move back down, back up to VWAP. Let's see if we can get there. Oh, it's a long A period. There's that 55 seller. So if you were long 49.50, you should be selling 55.56. Told you. Now B period's going to open up. I'm going to stay on with you guys for a few more minutes. Another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to go rest my voice because I'm on again at 11. And that's in the trading room. I'll put the link in the ES live trading. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Nebo. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know anything about Trade08, Nathan. Sorry. So we're still in distribution, right? See, like, look at all this volume down here. That's this stuff here, right? That's that 42, 43 product, and we are having great luck selling it over 50. Beautiful. Once you get a nice back and forth range going, you can just trade it back and forth. Like, say you're not comfortable with short selling, when it dips down under 50 and comes back up, you can buy the 50s, put your stop here in the 48s, sell 52, 53. Couple of points, right? In and out. You can trade while you're waiting for the big move, right? You might as well, you can make a little cash because this is a chop zone, but it's a fairly decent chop zone, 50 to 56. You can get in, make 2-3 points here, 2-3 points there. I'd love them to test the overnight low, but that hasn't happened yet. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Do you guys notice something? That gap took a few days to fill, right? That gap down here under this gap, it took a little while to fill. It took a few days before we went up and filled it. But now you notice that it's taking longer to fill gaps to the downside. That's because we have months of inventory above us. Could be rotational down here. We still have a gap above us, truth. So there is liquidation. There is still liquidation. That's why it's taking longer to fill gaps. It took, what, 3 days last time? 3 sessions to fill a gap? Usually we fill the gap that day. We gap down, buy it all, and then rip up. Now, because of economic news, you've got the war, you don't have as many aggressive buyers, right? There you go. So we came down, look at where we came on this last 1 minute candle. We came right down to the top of that position where they were selling before. So resistance turned into support, because if you look at it, you can see, right? This is where you acquired your inventory, cost basis. This is where you sell your inventory. And then when you put it on sale, you put it right back to the top of where you started buying it. There you go. How do you trade that? Well, when it gets down to 44 and it goes under 44 and then comes back up, you go long 44, you put your stop at 42, you sell some at 46, you sell some at 47, 48. Pretty simple. And that's what we train you how to do. Nice work, Moran. Nice work. Perfect. Good. And that's why we draw the balance zones, because it tells you where stuff is priced, right? What good is a trader if they're trading a market and they don't know where their inventory is priced? That'd be like you trying to sell cowboy hats and everybody's selling them for 20 bucks and you're asking $300 for the same hat. You're not going to make a lot of sales. I don't know about that, Attila. We'll see. You got to remember, this market is built for a 30, 40, 50-year time horizon, right? So I doubt the war is going to last for 40 years. Do you know what I mean? It could see a drop, based on, some margin selling and things like that. But we always make new highs after a big drop because it just cleans out all the margin players. Alrighty, folks. I'm going to go rest up my voice. We're going to have our next call at 11 o'clock in the room. Those of you who are interested in learning how to do this, come and check out our trading room. It's 3 days for free, and then it's only $19 a month. Thank you, everyone. We will see you. Sorry about losing my temper this morning. It's just been 3 or 4 days of people like asking really or saying really stupid stuff. I apologize. I'll start just blocking people right away so I don't get distracted. Apologies for that. We'll see you at 11 o'clock for the execution webinar. Thanks so much. Have a great morning. Trade safe out there.